Hello, hello. According to the calendar, today is Wednesday. Hey, Julie. Hey, Diane. Oh, so hang on just a second here. Gotta turn the sound down. So, and another Julie. Hey, Julie. So, those of you that don't know now, starting in March, I went back to 4 10-hour days. So, I rotate. Sometimes I have Mondays off. Sometimes I have Fridays off. So it's nice to have the extra day, but sometimes it's very confusing on what day it really is of the week. So hopefully you're having a wonderful day. I know we went for a walk tonight, and though it's finally melting, it feels good to hear water running outside. So, hey Jess, how are you? Are you guys getting rid of the flood water down there, I hope? We keep watching pictures. It's still not looking too hot, and it looks like rain's on the way. So tonight we are actually going to be making, are you ready? Yeah, there was a hint. So I'm going to show you how to make these adorable boxes. Isn't he cute? I'll kind of hold him still. I'm always looking for just little boxes, and I love it because I found this one, and it's going to use the envelope punch board. And I think that little tool does not get enough credit. I use mine actually quite a bit. Some of you have gotten... Sorry, Jess. Oh, I know rain, go away, right? But the punch board is something that I use quite a bit. I make my own envelopes when I'm sending you guys goodies to use up all my pretty paper. So we're going to make this tonight, but if you're new to the envelope punch board, we're going to start with what it does primarily, and then we're going to go from there. So if you are not familiar with the envelope punch board, this is in the annual catalog, and it's right here. And what I love most about this is you can make any envelope any size. You just need to know what size card you're starting with, and then the board I'll show you in a minute. But this, very good deal because it's a good tool for $20. And I highly encourage you to get it because you will love it. So let's get started. So the envelope punch board, when you get it, comes with a score tool that actually stores right in it, which I love. As long as you put it back, you'll always know where it's at. And then you've got this punching thing up here, and I'll show you how this works. But here's where I was talking about. I'm going to see if I can hold this really steady. All you need to know is what size card you're working with, and then it'll tell you the size paper that you need and where you start scoring from. And I'll explain that in a minute. But as you see here, look at all the different, you don't even have to think about it. Okay, so it'll give you a card envelope out of any size card that you want, and the directions are printed right on it. So if you forget, all you have to do is look at the directions. Okay, so we're going to start by making just a simple envelope. So on this punch board, I've already cut my sheet, and I'm going to give you just a little personal hint. Here, let me come back up here. So most of the time we are making cards. Let me see here. They're actually called A2 cards. So this is our standard size. Actually, it's 4 1/4. That's a little off. So it's 4 1/4, right, by 5 1/2. So this is as close as we're going to get to a regular card that we make. What I like to do is this actually says to start with an 8 1/8 piece of paper. And I actually like it just to give it a little bit more room. I cut mine at 8 1/4. Not much, but I like to have a little bit more room with that 5 1/2 inch, because sometimes if it's a thicker card, I want to make sure that I can get it in the envelope. Okay, so I'm going to start my piece at 8 1/4, and what you're going to do is you only measure once. So on this particular one, it's telling me to score at 3 3/4. Okay, what that means is up here, you're going to come and find 3 3/4. So right here, and I love it because if you're like me, sometimes I need 3 4 ticks, right? So it's got the measurements right on here for you. So what you're going to do is measure to this point with your paper, and we're going to get into a cadence. We're going to say punch and score, and we're going to do that all the way around. So I'm going to get you started here. So I picked this. I'm so sad. I just am in love with this DSP, which is Designer Series paper if you're new to stamping. But this is the one that is still available through Celebration, guys. This is still not done yet, and this paper is still available. So remember, you've got till March 31st. And I do have this hostess code. If you checked out my post earlier this week, I'm giving away a loot of goodies. So when you use this code online, I'm going to be giving you extra, but you can still earn Celebration items. So for every 50 you spend, you get to pick something out of these and more. Just go to my online store and you'll see, but this paper is in that pack that you can get for free, and I'm loving it. Okay, so let's get started here. So I'm going to take out my scoring, and as the directions say, I'm going to put the box over here for now. So it's going to be 3 3/4 we're going to start with, and I say punch, okay, and then you're going to score, and the score is diagonal. I'm going to move this just a little bit. I know this print is really hard to see, I pretty much feel, but here's where you're going to be scoring, okay? So you only measure the first time. So now I've punched, I scored, I'm going to turn it once. And now I know you're not going to be able to see this, but I'm going to line it up with that score that I just did. I just have to find the pattern here. Okay, and I'm lining it up to this little kick plate that's sticking. It's just like a foot. So I'm lining it up on that score mark. Okay, so not measuring, just using that, and I'm going to punch, and I'm going to score, and I'm going to do that 2 more times. It makes the prettiest envelopes every time because it's using your pretty paper. And I know none of us hoard pretty paper, right? I know there's got to be some laughing with that because we all hoard it. We need to use it because it's pretty. Okay, so let me get this off of here. Okay, so now on this side you can probably see better. You can see where my envelope is coming out. So one of the cool things that I know I sometimes forget with this is when you stick the paper up here, so you see this little V here, it's going to give you a nice rounded punch, okay? So you're gonna stick this in here and punch, and it gives you nice rounded edges. So if you like that finished look, you definitely can do that all the way around. To me, it looks just a little bit more professional. Oop, see, and I didn't get that one in there just about right. Okay, so now to do the envelope, and here's all my mess underneath, so I'm gonna slide that over. And so to do the envelope, you're just going to bend. Now, the post office, of course, probably isn't gonna like the really wild prints, so I'm gonna put that on the inside. So I'm gonna take this, actually I'm gonna pull these in first, okay? And then this, and look at that. You have the prettiest envelope with little effort and no math, right? You let the board do it. So I'm just gonna finish up this envelope. And I put this down, and my envelope's ready to go. Cool, right? So that's the easy way to use your punch board. But now I want to show you something where you can do more than just the envelope, okay? So let me look here. Sorry, I wasn't watching the comments. I get busy, right? Because I'm having fun. So to make the box is actually quite cool. So I want to give credit where I found it, and her name was Audra Monk. And I was out on Pinterest, and I encourage you to go out to Pinterest and just put envelope punch board, and you will find lots of projects with this awesome tool. So for her tutorial, we're gonna start out with a 6x6 piece of paper, okay? And I will put some directions out for you for measurements. So now, because we're making a box, we're gonna have a couple more scoring and punching, okay? So this one, we're actually gonna start at 2 1/8, okay? So I'm gonna punch, and I'm gonna score. Whoop, a little wonky. It's harder going through the cardstock because it's thicker. Okay, and the next one's gonna be 3 7/8. Punch. I know when we've done this in class, they get tired of me saying that. Punch, score, punch, score. You get a cadence so that you don't forget. Okay, so remember, we're only gonna measure once on one side. So now I'm gonna turn it and I'm gonna use those to line up my kick plate here. So this is this foot. I'm gonna go like this and I'm gonna slide it over and punch and score. Okay, 2 more times, lining it up. These boxes were like the perfect, you know, just put treats in. It was the perfect size. Okay, one more time, one more side. Punch, score, because I'm excited to show you the ones that I got done, because I addressed a couple of different holidays for you. Okay, so now we've got this kind of goofy looking piece of paper. I'm gonna move my scraps over here. Now, remember, we can make these, we'll make these nice and pretty. So we'll do some rounding. Okay, because you'll get to see that when we're done. Okay, so we're done with this for now, so I'm going to put this aside. Now on this one, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to stand up so we can get, and probably, oh, I saw Brenda and Diane, sorry, I wasn't watching comments. So there's all my scoring. What I'm going to do, I think it's easier to hold it so it's up and down points. And what you're going to do is cut in at the one score that we've done. Okay, and we're going to do that, turn it. Okay, and you're not going to cut, or you're going to cut that off. So just keep turning and you're going to do one cut on each side. Okay, now what that's going to do is when we start bending, we're going to have flaps to make our box. Okay, so the flaps are going to come in. Okay, so now we're going to start folding our box. So I just like to start with the bottom one. Okay, so now we're going to put some tape on the inside of the flap, and it's going to go here like so. Okay, so let me get that tape on here so you can see. And when I'm making boxes, I really like to use my stickiest tape possible, because I don't want my box to fall apart. And it, you know, if you're gonna put any kind of substantial candy in there, I know, funny, right? Like, we would never put non-substantial candy in our boxes. But we wanna make sure the box stays together, right? Okay, one more side. Oh, I'm getting tape all over here. All right. Just gonna peel that one off because I got a little extra tape here. We gotta use all that nice sticky tape. Okay, so now I'm gonna peel off so all my tape is exposed, and you could leave them on it, but I like to just whip around each side here. Maybe. One more here. Okay. So now I'm going to take this and fold it in and line up that corner. Okay, and the tighter you can get those corners, the more sturdy your box. Okay, super easy box. I was thinking these would be cute for even wedding favors, because they go together really easy, but I thought like a bridal shower, and I'm going to show you some ideas with different paper with that. And there is my box. And you fold these in. Cute little box, right? So now to do the belly band that I showed you, I loved that she did this because it gives it just a little bit more, we'll bring this back out. So you got a little bit of ribbon here, but it's not just a full belly band. It's actually got some using that fun punch that we have, that tag punch. And like I said, I will put the measurements out here, but it's using just a piece of designer series paper, and we're going to score it strategically. And then when you're done, it's going to make the cutest little belly band. Something different with the belly bands. I'm a big belly band fan because it just dresses things up. So then the last thing I did was take ribbon, and I think I put a piece here. I just have to see. I cut one, and it's just literally feeding these two together. Okay. And this is when it's good to craft with friends because you can get your knots nice and tight. But look at, it's just like lacing up your shoes. I highly recommend you put your candy in before you get this far because my little beautiful Easter one over there, guess who forgot to put the candy in after I got it all nice and tied, right? So I'm going to just tie this loosely so I can get back in here. Aren't these colors pretty? The succulents papers. Oh. And there you go. You have the cutest little box, right? Super easy. And not, like I said, I'll post the measurements, but do you want to see the ones I came up with? So first, we have our bunny one. Isn't he cute? Oh, bunnies. Very cute. So this was using the gingham paper. And I know the gingham paper, so this piece of DSP is actually 7.5 inches long. So if you notice, this DSP is actually 6 by 6. So what I did, yeah, you'll be able to look really close. All I did was splice it together. You can I did a really good job splicing. So I put two together so I could get a belly band that's long enough to go all the way around. But he's cute. And then of course I used my blends to color the bunny. Okay, this would even be cute for a baby shower when you know it's a boy. Okay, now this one, I think this one's my favorite. How about this one? So this one, oh, upside down, sorry. So I thought this one would be cute for wedding, like a spring wedding. So I used our beautiful paper that's in the big catalog. Let me see which one that is, because it doesn't get enough play. And you guys remember this, the big catalog, we are coming to the end, so stuff is going to start selling out. And the pretty paper is usually one of the first things to go and are in colors. So make sure you're getting those before they are gone. Let's see here. I want to show you this romance paper. Yes, Petal Promenade. And actually, I think this is one that you can pick for free still with the celebration paper. Isn't it pretty? I'm going to hold really still. But again, the catalog doesn't ever do it justice for the paper. Love the paper. Oh, geez. I gotta show, when we're done, Mom, yes, I will show your pill bottles. So I'm working on a project for Mom. She wants to see them. But isn't that cute? And this I did in Very Vanilla extra thick cardstock. So if you hear, it's a really solid, beefy box. And then I just used our pretty ribbon that's got the gold with it and vanilla. Cool, right? Okay, so that's using the same thing. And then, yeah, maybe this one's my favorite because I love this paper. You ready? So here's the striped paper. So I turned this up a little different. So I did a full belly band all the way around. Now, if you notice on here, I know it's hard. I'm getting some reflection, but what I did was take, I'm kind of into this now with our really gold foil and silver foil paper. It's so shiny. Sometimes I don't like to because it's got such a mirror finish. I have been putting them through the Big Shot, through the Subtles folder, and it adds the most beautiful texture and it kind of tones it down a little bit. So this is just a piece of that silver foil paper, and I did a whole belly band, meaning I taped it all the way around. So to get into the box, you just slide that off and it's put together in a band. So just use coordinating colors. This one I thought, especially on this one, would be fun to put the paper, the same like that striped paper. Let me see if I have a, just for a nice surprise, if it was the right size, to put that in the bottom, and then thought about filling this one with jelly beans because it's just such a bright box. Okay, let me show you. I'm not done with this one though, so I thought we'd incorporate everything that we talked about tonight. Look at here. Look at this beautiful envelope. Okay, so I use the same paper. Look at how fun that is. Oh, this is a one too. I could have gotten a whole pack of just this sheet because I loved it. So I did this. You ready for a funny card? I'm going to hold it still. Look, I'm not saying that you're old, but if you were milk, I'd sniff you first. So this is, those of you that know me, my husband actually works for a milk creamery plant in Fargo. So I thought this was extra special from the Crumb household. But how cute is this together? So let me put this back. I mean, talk about a custom gift that makes it look like you spent a lot of time, and really you spent just a half hour with me one evening, right? How cute is that? Very cute. But the box, very easy to do. I will post instructions. So what did you think? Was it fun? And I also want to know which box was your favorite. So my mom, this is so, oh mother, this is horrible. So she and her quilting cronies, here I gotta get the bag out. So her and her quilting cronies, and I feel bad because I have quilting, I have pins that I know I've bent, and I throw them in the garbage. I don't even think about it, but I throw them in the garbage, and my mom's like, you should not do that. You need a bottle to keep them in, kind of like what they do for diabetics. I'm like, oh my God, never thought of that. Guess what she did? She brought me a whole bag of pill bottles, okay? So I think, and you'll have to correct me, I think my dad drilled holes in them, okay? So the whole object is to put pins through the top, and then you can safely dispose of all of your, when quilters are quilting, they bend needles quite a bit. So now I'm decorating these all for my mom and her cronies, and then I'm putting funny pin sayings on here. I think, God, Mom, what did I say? Sticky situations, rest in peace, stick pins, something. But yeah, so she's been, and I'm just, I'm very disturbed that she had this many pill bottles. I hope she just got them from the pharmacy. So, because I'm like, where did you get all of these? But I've got them all done. So I've done tops on them to cover up the branding on the covers. And then next week when we go to her quilt retreat, I think they're all getting these, right, Mom? Yeah. So just another idea if you've got any crafty friends. But yeah, I don't know if I was more shocked that she had that many or that she wanted me to do that. So I will take a picture when I got when I have all my stickers on them and ready to go. So hopefully you liked the project tonight. Yeah, Dee Dee to the drug lady. I love it. Exactly. So next week I actually have a question for you all. So next week I am actually going with my beautiful mother to a quilting retreat. Now let's not get excited. Desiree's not going to start quilting. But I will be crafting. So I wanted to know if you guys are interested to see what those crazy quilters are doing and maybe what I am up to at the retreat. I would love to do a Facebook Live. So if I get enough people saying yes, please, we will go ahead and do a Facebook Live next Wednesday at her retreat. So other than that, yay. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And I will post pictures. And again, don't forget about the hostess code because we're getting to the end. And that is all for tonight. Thank you very much for stopping by and have a wonderful evening.